game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said we're going to be looking at Shane, and I have to agree with that on the objective point of view. However, the person I'm always looking at when I'm looking at TCM is Sonny B. He's been so influential in the league. He's been playing really, really well. And if you look at the previous map, he's not at the best map, but playing with the Kuda on that Blink Infection is something quite complicated. However, going into this map, I think Sonny B is going to have a lot more ways to be influential and help his team come back and maybe force a Game 5.
Absolutely. I'd love to see a Game 5 in this game. It definitely deserves it with how both these teams have been playing. TCM certainly within their rights to say that we deserve at least a map 5 in this series. They don't look too happy with themselves right now. I think they're probably a bit upset with how long that uplink took to get going and how, you know, the momentum of what they were feeling from the first game might
It's also part of being a pro.
them.
You know, it's what it is.
Gotta
it
keep
happens.
yourself ready.
There are always issues coming around, and you know we're quite lucky with Call of Duty. There's no weather issue. You know, it happens. It happens in every basically big sport. So it's not a surprise to see some delays at time, and players just got to work through it and make sure they don't get that frustration. When something bad happens, just gotta forget about it. Just keep focused, and that's exactly what Millenium's done. And I think it's kind of a showing of how much veterans they are.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to know. It's not just about your gun skill or your game knowledge. It's about keeping focused.
Yeah, and your mindset.
I mean,
complete mindset.
You used to play competitively as well. You know how hard it is to concentrate at your fullest on a game for so long. And, you know, when you've got those long breaks in between, it can be really hard to remain your concentration. It's a lot of energy that and it's extremely exhausting focusing on something like this for such a long period of time. And it's those guys who can remain focused and, you know, on top of their game for so long that, you know, benefit the rewards that they get.
No, absolutely. But now going into the ban and protect on map number 4, it's going to be, like we said, CTF on bridge. And a change of tactic on the TCM side as Nile is now going to protect the M8. They've had enough of the mana war. They're like, Swanee, Maka, we love you very much, but you're not having that mana war. We're having the M8.
Well, Nile really struggled in that uplink, and it shows. I mean, protecting the M8 was something. The M8 was taken away from him because of how how well he was doing against Swanee with it in the previous games. And he was shutting Swanee out for some reason, which we're not used to seeing with Swanee. He's very hard to shut out of a game, but taking it away in the uplink, it really put Nile in a bad situation. So they want to protect that and keep their game in their hands, and that's what they want to do. They want to make this ban and protect as comfortable for themselves. But we're also seeing quite a few specials. We don't want any nasty active camos.
At the row.
Don't want any nasty active camo. Don't want any overdrives getting away from us and capture the flag. That could be a real horrendous one to track down. And kinetic armor, obviously, you don't want anyone breaking through and taking the flag away from you.
Yep, and overclock is going to be banned as well. So two very interesting things are the afterburner is still in, which is quite handy on the wall run side, well, on both sides actually, to run that flag. But also, the flash and the stuns are in. So you're probably going to see those players rocking tac mask. And it can be quite influential to pull that flag away.
I would imagine so, especially the man who's sitting on the back of the base. You want him running that tac mask, because if there are members of the other team looking for the flag cap, they are going to hit you with everything they have. So tactical grenades will come out as well as frag grenades.
Ooh, Sonny be using vision pulse. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because using that to make sure, well, and Tommy is going to do the exact same. So we've got a similar lineup as both teams are going to go with the 8-wave vision pulse, Sight, and Tempest. And we've seen how good Maka is with the Tempest. I don't know if you've seen it earlier, but when they were playing Realize team, they were like 240 to 240, and Realize team was full in control. They were going to get away with the R point. Maka just came in with Tempest, got a 4-piece, and ended the game that way. So he's been playing very well with it. But Vision Pulse, coming back to that, I think it's very, very good ability to use in CTF, because it allows you, as a flag runner, to know straight away where the defenders are, and to even know the opponent spawn, so you're going to be able to get that information to run in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, having the vision pulse, you can obviously run straight at people. Being the flag carrier, you're going to have a lot more engagements than someone like an AI. If you've got someone sitting in the back, not really the best of opportunities to take it, especially if you haven't got overclock, because overclock being banned in the ban and protect, you're not going to get too many vision pulses unless you're racking up scores and kills. So what they're going to be able to do with that is, once they do make those pushes, they're going to get the intel on exactly where they are sitting back in their spawn and protecting that flag from, you can actually start to push in there with your team, knowing full well how to actually approach that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the decision making, using the specialists, being able to identify the exact situation where using the specialist is going to benefit your team most. And this is something that can be quite hard to do, quite hard to identify. And we see time and time again, Heatwave coming in clutch, or sometimes simply players using Heatwave and getting nothing away, well, nothing from it. So those specialists, it's all about the decision making, and this is where players like Millenium or Infuse that boost a lot of experience just shine.
Absolutely. I think one of the players has dropped out of the game, so I'm not sure if we're going to be having a restart of.
Well, with the way Mac has been playing, I think they could be playing 3v4. I think that I did be fine with
I think that's a little bit out of their reach. I mean, Mancat's a great player, but I don't know about 3v4. That's a bit...
Especially missing Jared. I mean, he's quite an influential player, and he's actually joined the game back, so we should be set going onto this fourth map. It's currently 2-1 to Millenium. They have dropped the first map on our point, which was kind of unexpected, and it wasn't even close, was it?
No, it was an absolute smashing from TCM. They really played that well. They got all their rotations right. They outslayed them. They kept the tempo up, put the pressure onto Millenium. They shut the ARs out. They banned out Afterburner as well, which meant that once they did get those kills, they knew that they had lots of time to reset themselves onto that hill, because they'd be spawning miles away and they'd have ages to get back.
True, very true. So we're now going to get into that game. Who do you want to spectate first?
I would like to spectate Sunny B if we could do. I want to see what he's going to be rocking here. He is going to be using the Kuda.
Yeah, he's been playing very well with the Kuda. Actually, if I was, maybe if I'd been Millenium, I would have taken the Kuda away from him, because this is literally his #1 choice as an SMG player. However, Brand's trade away showing that the MA is his weapon of preference, but Macat just like literally smashing Sunny B there.
He did smash him. Bran is 3-0 so far, so great start for him. 3 kill streak. As Niall sitting on this top ACs, he's going to chuck a trophy down in case some nasty tactical grenades do come out. Quite a slow start, however, after that first
bad timing
fray. Here comes Jerd on the flank, does pick up Niall, and he's going to push himself into the wall room as he comes head-to-head with Bran. Bran just about picks that one off, and he's going to stay alive. Some kills going in the favor of TCM right now. Bran just playing that defensive rock right now. 4-0. He wants to rack up those streaks if he can. Kill streaks are so important in Capture the Flag to open up the way for your team, especially on a map like Breach where the flags are so open. You can easily push people out of the spawns and get yourselves a chance at actually taking the flag.
Yeah, and I think, you know, in the past, score streaks have been used in CTF as very defensive score streaks, like using a lightning strike when the flag's being pulled away, where we see Millenium being really aggressive, but TCM just shutting them down. And now, I think score streaks are being used more aggressively because the flags are harder to get out, and on Breach, you can run the flag pretty much inside buildings, so you can't really stop people with those score streaks. So you've got to use them aggressively. I've seen a lot of teams doing mistakes of using them defensively and just getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, Capture the Flag. It's all about just, for me, it's just about playing it patient, waiting to get those score streaks if you can, rack them up, and it gives you so much more to play with once you are looking for a flagpole itself. Not only aggressively, but defensively, as you said. And we've got Shane right now on a 4 kill streak. Now, I can't stress how important it was that Tommy got shut down by Shane. Tommy shutting down Bran, making sure that he couldn't get any score streaks. However, Shane is on his verge of getting them, just pre-firing, really wants to try and get them. We might see a heat wave pop here. He does have it available if he chooses to use it. No,
Swanee is
going
not
to shut
having
it down.
Yeah, Swanee is not having any of that TCM aggression, just showing the shutting down 2 players very easily. Currently, Swanee going 5-0. He's yet to die in 2 minutes 20 in the game, and he could build some score streaks of his own. So TCM need to be careful. They're probably aware of it. You know, you pop your scoreboard, you see Swanee is 5-0. It's like, all right, we need to kill him. He's a big problem, and that's exactly what Shane is going to try to do.
Shane on the flank here. He has spotted Swanee, read him like a book, knew exactly where he was going to be positioned. They have got a man coming back to try and protect this. He chucks down the smoke to disrupt him. Jerd gets the kill with the grenade, and Bran is sitting in the middle of the map, just locking it down, making sure no more pushes come out from Millenium. They're playing very, very defensive right now.
Look at the Millenium players. They're stacked on their flag. They just want to make sure that those TCM players are not going to pull the flag and that they're not going to be in deficit. Because when you're running after the score in CTF, it's just a no-full situation to be in. Because the other team can afford to defend and to attack at the same time. And you're almost like in a position where, all right, you know, we're lacking time. We need to do a 4-man push, and that's when you start getting counter.
Shane coming off the respawn, looking to keep the pressure out, and Millenium are not happy. It seems like they're not happy with this side of the map. They just want to play it out and look to go into the second half really firing there. I'm reading it by the way they're playing that they want to start to look for the second half. They're happy to play this out as it is and move into the second half, waiting for everything that they can. Yeah,
Swanee playing extremely steady. Maka, bit of a shaky shot right there. Still going to connect onto Bran with the headshot, and he's going to try and find more. However, plenty of aggression from TCM. They've not been successful in pulling that flag so far. I'd like to see some specialists being used from the TCM side to pull that flag away. I mean, I meant earlier when Shen had that opportunity, I think he should have popped that 8-wave. Yeah. He should have popped it, because it's so fast to reload anyway.
I'm not sure how many specialists we still have on the field. There's quite a few of them knocking about. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to be saved. However, Millenium have finally made the opportunity for themselves. They got the kills down, and they made the push up this greenhouse side. They are returning the flag. They might get a pinch from both sides. Vision Pulse is ready for Sunny B. Gets one kill and gets the other one. That flag is going to be returned, and he's not even going to return it himself. Wait for a teammate to claim it as he pushes for this back one. The Vision Pulse has been sent out. He has spotted no one because they are fresh off the respawn. They're overextending to try and counter cap if they can in the last 20 seconds. There's not a lot of time here for TCM to get the flag in if they can. Got to run as fast as they possibly can, and Jerd is going to counter pull this one off towards Palace side.
And there is only one player to change it. It's going to be Bran, going to find the first kill, but not going to be able to return. So it's going to remain a 0-0 situation going into the second half. Good job out of Millenium, just overextending and making sure they could pull that flag away to prevent TCM from scoring. But again, during this whole last minute of madness, one thing to remember is Sunny B extremely crucial with that double kill to return the flag.
He did use that Vision Pulse to clean the way to... Given the information, he had to be able to pull that, but that's a lot of specialists used up for that play there, and we're not going to have as many going into the second half. But Swanee has a Scythe. We've got a Heat Wave as well. Yeah, I think Tempest might be available for Maka.
Yeah,
we've got all
weapons. Yeah, we've got all weapons available basically. So we've got 3 specialists on the Millenium side and 2 on TCM because Sunny B used that Vision Pulse. Jed's going to find one in the middle.
These first few kills are so crucial right now. They could easily open the way.
Look at Jerd. Straight off the bat, it's going to pull that flag away. Oh, such a good timing as well.
Someone's coming out of the greenhouse. He has no idea they're there. He's by himself. He's had to try and make a hero pull. Not worked out for him, and he does go down. Some kills are going to be traded away in the middle of the map. Tommy does spot a TCM member pushing into the bottom wall room.
Oh, wow.
He does get Nile as well. He's on a bit of a tear right now, 6 and 10 overall, but he has got that 2-kill streak going for him. If he can get some kill streak, Jonas, he's really going to put his team in such a strong position.
Yeah, especially that he's one of those players that are attacking, that are showing aggression, so he can pretty much decide what's the right time for him to use the score streak to make a push. However, Jerd, once again, going to pull that flag away. There was a player shooting at him, but Niall is actually going to kill him with the system trophy, which is something we see quite rarely. I think Jerd threw in his grenade, and there was a trophy system too close, then it exploded in his hand and killed him. So kind of a lucky one there, but I think Jerd was going to die regardless.
Definitely a trophy kill that he'll be happy about. Moving forward, Jerd just locking down this side of the map. Swanee makes 2 important kills to open the gateways for his team. Tommy also makes a kill onto Sunny B. This is the time off the respawn. A grenade does come in onto Niall. Niall's going to back off and fend for his life here. Does have the Tempest available if he needs to deflect the on-push from Millenium.
Yeah, and he's actually going to bring it out. And he saw a player up top, not going to be able to connect so far, but the aggression is coming in from Millenium once again. So far, 7 minutes into the game, none of those teams have been able to score a flag. Still 0-0 in this game. Just making sure that you're not going to concede that first flag. Once again, you don't want to be trailing in the NCTF.
Things have settled down once again. Millenium actually going on a massive flank here towards
Swanee
Palace.
again on kill streak.
I think that's probably Jerd.
Swanee is 12 and 4 with a 4 kill streak. And Tommy right there in a really good position to defend the flag. He's going to find the first one. Is he going to be able to make the second? Yes, he does.
This is the time. They've got to be quick here, Jonas. Tommy has made that 2 kills, which opens them up, and they have got the respawn in there. favor. Now just waiting to see if anyone pushed through Palace. Obviously, Jerd initially came through there, expecting him to do it again, but no, they have pushed through Greenhouse side, trying to push them onto the Palace spawns. Here comes the flagpole. It has been pulled away by Jerd, and they're going to go through the Greenhouse. ManCave watching away with the Tempest. Here comes Sunny B to save the day. No, the Heatwave goes out. Incredible, saving it just for the right moment, and he does do it. They get an expert flag pull away, and Jerd is going to put that one in. Great plays from Millenium. 2 minutes on the clock.
What did I tell you? Those specialist use, making it and saving them at the right time is exactly what you need to be. And when it comes down to that, Jerd is one of the best users of the Heatwave in Europe, in my opinion. It's just like showing exactly why using that Heatwave while it was running the flag made Sunny B drop, and they couldn't return that flag. It's going to be 1-0 up from Millenium now, 1 minute 40 seconds away from running again, running away with this game against TCM.
And this is where you have people like Swanee and ManCave that are so crucial on your team, just locking down lines of sights for your team. They've gone into defensive mode, and they want to turtle this game out at 1-0. Swanee's got the scythe in hand, and he's just locking down these cuts for you, and that's who you want locking those cuts down. As Brycey told me yesterday, there's no one more fearsome locking your cuts down and being more consistent than Swanee, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's left freedom for ManCave, for Tommy, for Jerd to go and push forward and keep the damage up, and they have managed to get a flagpole in the fray of that all, and it's going to be a 2-0 affair. He's also going to have streaks to lock this last minute of the game out as TCM look to do something.
Yeah, Tommy on a 6-kill streak. He was basically going 7-12, and now he's going 13-12. So a pretty good job out of him of the last minute. It knows he's been vision paused. He has the information, so he knows Sunny B's got to be around, and ManCave's going to drop him. Swanee using his score streak, and Shane's going to make something heroic here if he wants TCM to stay alive.
Shane does get taken down by Jerd. And they're locking this down. It's 36, and I don't even think it's mathematically possible for them to get back into this. No overdrive either. It's going to be a series going to Millenium. It didn't look like they could be able to seal this one out at times, but they do thwart TCM, and it was a valiant effort from them. 3-1 is the overall score for Millenium.
Yeah, Millenium just walking away with it. Very good game of uplink, very patient CTF plays. They've been saving the specialists for the right time to make the difference, like we've seen with Jerd using that Heatwave correctly on his flag round. So fair play, Millenium just showing why they are one of the best teams in Europe, why they are sitting in the second ranking of the Call of Duty World League and sending TCM home early.
Absolutely. We'll just bring up the scoreboard quickly to see what was happening there. 17-5 from Swanee, and that's so crucial. You want him to have your cuts down, and he does. He locks down your side of the map. He locks down the base, and that's what you want from your main AR. And the rest of them just had free reign to do what they wanted. They coordinated greatly together, bided their time, and managed to lock it down. You can see the scores from the series on your screen right now. 250 to 123 was the hard point, and we thought TCM might actually be able to pull an upset here. It was very close at one point in the search and destroy at 4 apiece. We thought it was going to go TCM's way, but Millenium brought it back. ManCave made a great 2v2 situation with Swanee to see it out to 5-4, and then got a 2v1 clutch to seal it off, followed up by an uplink which had a very delayed start, but it was a slaughtering 12-3 to Millenium, and finally the CTF was a patient 2-0 victory.
No, Millenium just, playing well. Like you said, it was 4 apiece, and you saw it was going to be a, it could have been, it was 4 apiece. You said maybe it can go TCM's way. It ended 6-4, and it's just basically the difference between the likes of TCM and the likes of Millenium. When they have to, in those key moments, they'll just make a better use of whatever they got going on, and we saw in CTF that was the exact same thing. Whereas uplink, it was just the Mad Cat show.
I would have liked to seen them. If they'd taken the search and draw, I think they could have taken the series. And that delay in the uplink, I don't think helped any of them. I mean, Shane and Sunny B, they're two players who they're major hype players. They want to get excited. They want to keep the momentum going. And unfortunately, the delay kind of ended it quickly there. Didn't quite get off to the greatest of start. And the banner protect for that one didn't quite go their way. Obviously, now not really firing on all cylinders in there. But we're going to take a quick look at the bracket and see how the tournament has been panning out for ourselves. Infuse did beat Rampage Tempo in their quarter-final match, so they'll be playing Splice in the semi-final, who defeated XL.
That was a close one. It was 3-2 to Splice last map, and they were 2-1 down, so
nice.
Real well played out of Splice.
On the other side of the bracket, we've got Millenium, who you just saw defeat TCM Gaming And you've also got Epsilon versus Exertus, which is a match that is either still going on or the score has not been reported quite yet. And from what I was hearing whilst casting this game, it sounded like an extremely exciting
the first
and
map
heated
was
game.
250 to 242, I think. So it was extremely close. Exertus, I've been playing amazing. They beat Vitality, which was an extremely close game. Came down to 1v2 from Watson last round in a 5-5 on SND, and now they are going up against Epsilon, and they are the last challenge team in the bracket. We've only got pros, basically.
I mean, I've seen Exertus play quite a few times, and I've always rated the players on that roster, especially Watson. I think he's just been hard done by and not quite found the team that he wants to for Black Ops 3, and it seems like he's doing some good stuff with Exertus so far. We'll have to see if they do manage to upset Epsilon. I think it would be an incredible upset if they did manage to do that. They just need to make sure they play the game. And Epsilon, they can get quite emotional about Call of Duty at times. So if you can get in their head, they can really start to upset them.
Especially considering the fact that Watson was dropped from Epsilon earlier this year and actually qualified to do a Pro Division with them. So there's quite a lot of history going on between the two players. And you could see at the end of the first map, there was a lot of emotion going on for really just screaming out of his mind towards the opponent's team, because they really wanted this one very, very much.
Lovely. Well, we do have an interview from that game, Millenium versus TCM, and it is going to be Millennium's Swanee over with Tommy. Take it away, boys.